Oh, hiya, honeys. Welcome back to my spooky little corner. For those that don't know me, I am Lady Mylita, and I bid you welcome. So my darklings, I have a video of actually quite a few new products to try out. So I hope you'll join me for that. I'm excited. I love new products to try out. So the main thing we're trying out today that is new to me at least is the LimeCrime Venus XLII palette. Now I've been eyeing this girl for a very, very long time. I've never tried any LimeCrime products, so I'm very, very excited about this. And here are the colors. They're very earthy, greens, pinks. As soon as I saw it when it first came out, I was just like, at one point in my life, I need to own this palette. And now I do. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in watching, stay tuned. And let's dive in. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start. I've got my eyelids all primed. Today for eye primer, we are using our e.l.f. eye primer in the shade Sheer. And darklings, I cannot even describe how excited I am for this stunning palette. I've heard some kind of hit or miss with LimeCrime products, but this is definitely something I wanted to try. So let's get right into it and let's try it out. So I'm really wanting to, I think, to do maybe a more mint look. I know there's lots of beautiful pinks and browns in here too, but these greens are just, they be calling to me, honey. They are calling to me. So let's get into that. So I'm just going to take this fluffy brush. This is just a Quo one, and I am going to jump right into this shade down here, this beautiful mint. It is called Obscure. And I am going to just start with this by putting it into my crease and start to build it up and see how it works. She's definitely a pretty opaque shade. Very pretty though, but more opaque than what I was anticipating. But she'll look great, and I'm going to actually probably put her all the way up just because she is such a nice pale green. She can go all the way up. I'm just going to swirl her in, try to make it nice. As I said, darklings, I have quite a few new little products to show you today, so I'm very excited, and hopefully you'll like them. Okay, so there is that green shade down. She's very pretty. I like it. It's very opaque though. I wasn't quite expecting that, but I'm not upset about it. Okay, so then I am going to take just another, this is a e.l.f. blending eye brush, and I'm going to jump right into the shade Sage up here, and I'm going to put that one on my outer corner and up into the crease. Oh, that's nice too. Okay. She's blending quite nicely into the Obscure shade. They're blending quite well, I would say. want to make sure I get it high enough that when I cut my crease, we'll still be able to see that shade. And then I'm just going to take that one. I'm not going to add any extra color, but I just want to make sure I have it nice and blended out. And I'm just going to do nice circular motions and just make sure those two colors look good together. Just like that. Now I want the ends to be a bit darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of the smaller blend. This is just an eye crease brush from e.l.f. And I'm going to dip into Classical right down here, which is a very, very dark brown. I don't want a lot of it, but I just want to deepen this corner a bit more. And what I'll probably do is I'll just add a bit of this and then add more of that sage shade over top just to deepen it a bit. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this brush again and get right into sage, because I don't want it to look brown. I want it to look green, but I want it to look a little darker of a green. So we're going to try that and see if that works. Not bad. Oh, now we're just going to get ourselves a brush. And this is just a flat one from Quo, and I'm just going to use my concealer today. So this is the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer in shade C4. We're just going to do a nice cut crease to go with this so we can apply some of those shimmers, because their shimmers look quite nice. Okay, so there we go. We have our crease cut, and there's a few really, really nice kind of shimmer shades in here, more in the mint style. So we are going to jump right into those ones. And as always, when I'm doing my shimmer shades, I'm just going to hit it with some setting spray. This is a brush from, I believe it's Vasante. It's just a nice flat brush, which I like. So I'm going to hit it with some setting spray. Now, there are two kind of green shades. There's this one down here, which kind of pulls a bit brown. And I don't know if I really want to do that. I really want to stick with the greens. So there is this one here called Myth. And then this one here called Ivy. So I think we're going to use both of those today. I don't know if they really look much different, but we're going to try and see how it looks. So I'm going to start, I think with the shade Ivy. And I'm going to start with that. Let's see how it applies with the damp brush. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to start with that. Okay, that's quite a pretty shade. Goes on quite well. And I'm getting pretty good pickup out of the pan too. And I'm not having a lot of fallout in the pan, which is fantastic. But again, as I've stated many times, I really don't worry about fallout because it is eyeshadows and you're going to have some fallout. It's just the way it goes. Okay, and then so for the next one, we're going to pick Ivy. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush out of my Riviera palette. So we're just going to hit that. And then we're going to go into the shade Myth. They look kind of similar. We'll see how they look on the eye, if they look extremely similar on the eye or not. But let's see. Okay, so let's try it and see if it looks. Okay, so they aren't a lot different, but they are a bit different. So that one kind of picks up a little more on the yellow tone. The shade Ivy picks up more yellow, while Myth seems to have a bit more of a bluey tinge to it. So together though, they're quite nice. And then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush, I'm going to use my color switch on it just to take off any excess pigment. And then I am going to actually spray it, and I'm going to hit that shade Locust that I was like, well, it looks maybe a little too brown in the pan, but that might look good on the outer corners. So let's try it. It definitely is pulling, I think, more browns. Definitely more browns, but let's try it. Might look good. She's definitely pulling out more browns, but I think there is some green reflect to it. So never know until you try sometimes, right? Okay, so after that, I just want to take my brush that has the sage on it. I just want to kind of dust it over. I want to make sure that that shade is still prominent and that you do see the variation. And then we'll just take that beautiful fluffy and just make sure it's all nice and in place. I'm quite happy with that look. It's nice, it's green, it's not... We'll definitely have to play with some of the other colors, but so far, I think that's quite pretty. And for those of you interested in the LimeCrime Venus XLII palette, she is $79 Canadian. So I'm just going to quickly go and start my face products, and then I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. I know I look a little funny, but we're starting a new thing. So for primer today, I'm using the Tatya Silk Canvas. And for concealer, as you can see I have on, I'm using the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer in shade C4. And I've already done my eyebrows. So for eyebrows today, we are using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in medium brown. And you know I'm topping it up with Charlotte Tilbury's Legendary Brow in the shade Supermodel. Okay, so here's where we are at. I've got my concealer on, as you can see. So we are trying out a new foundation today. So today we are trying out the new Marc Jacobs Remarkable Full Coverage Foundation Concentrate. It says an instant full coverage, all day, weightless wear, and less is more. Okay, and I am in the shade 14 Ivory Medium. Okay, so we're just gonna take it out of the box. It says shake well before each use. Good to know. And she's a beautiful, like, glass container. Like, she's glass, so give it a good shake. She sounds fairly liquidy. So the reason why I picked this up, this foundation is normally $70 Canadian at Sephora, but it is currently on sale for $35. We love a good deal, don't we, darklings? So I figured this is a perfect time to try it. Now, I'm not sure how this works. Oh, it's a little spatula. Okay, well, perfect. Okay, so I will just maybe put some on here, there. Kind of, I'm not exactly sure. I'm used to like a pump, so we're just gonna try a little and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, and we'll just, it just screws on nice and tight and then lid on top, just like that. Okay, so they say less is more, so let's find out. And I'm just using, this is a Quo sponge I have, so we're just going to use that. And just bounce this into the skin. I don't think it's a good shade for me, unfortunately. Sephora's little match system they have is usually pretty decent, but this is looking a touch yellow on my skin, which is not something I prefer. Like, I definitely prefer more of a pink tone. But yeah, it's looking a touch more yellow. I'm hoping my setting powder might settle it a bit more. But yeah, she's definitely looking yellow. I must have gotten the wrong shade, which does happen. So, you know, and they usually have a pretty good way to take it back or what have you, so you can get your appropriate shade. But I've had this for a while, so I probably won't be able to do that, but we'll still use it in videos. Okay, she covers quite nicely. I think next time I will definitely use my e.l.f. concealer though, because my e.l.f. concealer is a touch darker than my Jeffree Star, so we'll see if that helps. Okay, so and for powder today, I am using my Jeffree Star Magic Star setting powder in the shade with Rose. So let's see, because it's definitely more of a pink. Maybe that'll help kind of counter some of the yellow in this foundation. Or maybe not. You never know until you try these things. And I just like doing it with this, just to kind of set the lines and what have you. My spots that I like to break because of oils, I always use a sponge. And then I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush. This is my Retro Paradise e.l.f. collection one. And just dip it in and finish it up. Okay, so that's the Jeffree Star setting powder. I'm sorry I couldn't lift it up because I had powder in it, but there it is in the shade Rose. The foundation feels pretty good though, although I'm not particular on the color. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I don't feel like I use very much either. Yeah, feels good. I didn't even really notice that much of a scent to it. No, there's not much of a scent either, which is nice. But yeah, so far we'll have to see how it wears though, but as of now, I'm pretty impressed. Okay, so let's finish up the eyes. I'm just going to do a small wing with our Glam Light Calligraphy eyeliner. I don't want anything too bold today, but I do want a little something something. Okay, so there we go. It's just a small wing, nothing too extreme. I am quite enjoying this eyeliner. I do find it takes a little bit longer to dry down than what I'm used to, but with my handy dinosaur fan that we name, it does make it much easier to get it dried down quicker. So yes, if you're looking for a new liquid eyeliner to try, totally recommend this. So I am going to try a new waterliner yet again. Maybe this is the one. This is Makeup Forever's Aqua Resistant Color Pencil in the shade Graphite, which is just a black. And this retails at Sephora for $29. So I thought, well, let's try another pencil, see how it goes. She's quite pigmented and it went on very quickly, very easy. I don't find my eyes watering very much. So cross our fingers, darklings. I want one that'll stay in my waterline. And then to finish it up, I don't want to do too much on the bottom, but I do want to put in just a bit of color. So we're going to go back into our Venus XLII palette here. And I think I'm just going to take some of that obscure shade and kind of shade it down. So I'm just going to take a little smudger brush. This is one of my doe color brushes that I got off of Amazon because it had some skull and crossbones on it. So of course I wanted them. So I'm just going to take that and just kind of dust the edge of it and then just kind of stamp that along. I don't want to get it into the black, but I want some color down there. I might actually take some of that shade, sage shade, and add it as well, just to give a little bit of a dimension. This also has a very nice mirror. Maybe I should start using the mirrors on the palettes and maybe you'll be able to see a bit better. Let me know down below because I want to make sure you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. I really love this obscure shade. She's like just like that perfect kind of pale minty green. It's quite lovely. And then I'm just going to put some of that sage shade. Oh my, I say that one over 10 times fast. Just under the corner. Give it a little bit of dimension. I quite like that. I quite like how that turned out. I'm very pleased with how this is going so far. Another new product. We are finally going to try a new mascara. I will say that I did try that e.l.f. mascara a few times that I had bought in my e.l.f. haul, and I totally don't recommend it. It was terrible. I wore it out to a little party that my Lord Lynn had with his best friends and hanging out with the moms, and I put it on and it felt fine, and then all night I could just feel every time I blink my eyelashes were sticking together. It was absolutely terrible, so don't recommend it. But today we are going to try the Milk Makeup. This is the Kush waterproof mascara and it is in black. I'm sure it has a name, but it's black. And this one you can get at Sephora for $32 Canadian. So I'm not going to put on false lashes today because it's hard to try out a mascara with falsies. So we're just going to do just mascara today for something a little different. So let's see. Oh, okay. So there is the brush. She looks nice. All right, let's try it out. I actually think I'm going to use my star mirror just because sometimes the star mirror makes things a little easier. Ugh. Just a bit of a thicker mascara than what I'm generally used to, but I do like how it's performing on my eyelashes. It looks quite nice. So let's see if I can do the bottom area, because I always find certain types of wands are not good for this. So let's see how this one does. Okay, so there we have the mascara on. It went on quite nicely. I think it fanned out really well. Like I said, it does feel like a thicker formulation than what I'm personally used to. So it's going to take a bit of finessing for me to get used to it. But it coated the bottom lashes quite lovely too. So far, so good. So I did purchase some other products from LimeCrimes as well. And one of the reasons why I decided this was the time to buy something from LimeCrimes is when you spent a certain amount of money, they give you a free face palette. Who says no to free makeup? So this is the LimeCrime's Sun-Kissed face palette. Unfortunately, I don't see it on their webpage anymore. So maybe this is how they were just getting rid of some final stock and maybe they weren't going to keep it anymore, but I am not complaining. I love it. And it's a cute little face palette. We got some blushes, we got some highlights, we got some bronzers. It's got a little bit of everything. I'm not exactly sure if this color scheme is going to really suit me per se. I'm probably only going to use maybe the blush and maybe some highlight, and that will be about it out of this palette. But you know, if I feel like maybe doing a Malibu Barbie look one time, this might come in very, very handy. So let's try out some of the stuff. So let's see. This shade here is called Sizzle, and we're going to try it for blush. I know she looks like a hot orange shade, but you never know until you try it out. So let's get ourselves the blush. Okay, so we're just going to use this. This is one of my Quo brushes. Yeah, it was like the crystal one. I don't know, but I quite like this little set. So I'm just going to dip into it lightly. She looks quite orangey, so let's try it. Oh, she's orange. She's definitely orange. So just kind of don't need much. That's okay. Light dip. Oh, she is a pretty shade, but again, that is really, really pigmented. So light hand if you do own or have this, or we're gonna get it, or I don't know, because I don't know if you can get it anymore, but or if you just get some of their blushes or what have you anyways. Wow, she's quite pigmented. I feel like I don't have quite enough on the side. Oh. And so because it looks very, very pigmented, what I'm just going to do is take the brush that had powder on it and use it to kind of diffuse it, because there'll still be some leftover powder on it, and diffuse it just a little bit. It's still quite a bold blush, but if you go light-handed, it should be good. For me, the other one here, this one is called, I'm pretty sure, Malibu. This one here is called Malibu. She's a pretty pink too, but she's a shimmer pink. So I don't like shimmer blushes. I would probably use that on the eyes or as a highlight if, you know, the pink, it might be a little dark of a pink, but you never know. She's pretty though. She's very pretty. I quite like the shade, but just not, I don't like glitter blushes. I don't. Okay, so I'm probably going to use this one here, which is called Sundays, right here for a highlight today. So we'll swatch the other ones. So this one here is called Salty, and she's just like, she's a nice brown shade. I don't know if she would be good for me because she might be too, yeah, she's very yellowy or orangey, you want to say. So for me and my pink skin, that probably won't work so well. And then they have the other one down here, which is very shimmery. So I don't know if I'd want to use it as a contour color, but you know, if you want a shimmery bronzer, that might be good. Ooh, oh, she is pretty though. That is Basque. She is like a beautiful kind of almost coppery shade. Oh, she's quite pretty. She's quite pretty. And then that last one, that yellow, is called Golden Hour. Golden Hour. So let's try that one too. Because I don't know if... Oh, she's like gold. I don't know if I would use it as a highlight, but oh, she'd make a beautiful yellow eyeshadow. So I am more than happy with that. Can't complain. So I'm just going to take one of these. This is one of my dough color little fluffier brushes, and I'm going to dip into that Sunday shade, and we're going to try it as a highlight for me. So we're just going to lightly dip into it. She's kind of like a pinky kind of shimmery shade, so let's try it. Yeah, see, that's more like a shade I would probably wear a little more frequently. So... But again, this palette was free with my purchase, and all I really had to buy, honestly, was the Venus XLII palette, and I got this for free. I did purchase some other stuff, which we're going to see in a minute, but... Oh, I do quite like that shade. She's kind of a silvery pink, which works really nicely with my skin tone. Quite pleased with that. So yes, this is the Sun Kissed face palette from LimeCrimes. And then my last new stuff, I actually purchased a couple of LimeCrime's liquid lipsticks because they are quite known for their liquid lipsticks. I bought one of their original one. This is the Velveteens, and I bought the shade called Desire. And so that's the packaging. And she is kind of like, I want to say like almost like a peachy kind of a nude shade. So I quite like it. I haven't tried any of the stuff yet, so we will see. And then I also purchased one of their plushie line. And this is a newer one. It's mainly their nude lipsticks are in the plushies. And it's a soft focus lip veil. So it's supposed to make your lips look a little more plushy. And this shade is called Lavender Honey, and she's kind of a purpley nude shade. So I wanted to try their lips. So each of these were $28 Canadian. So I have two different formulas to try. I think I'm going to try the plushie one today to go with this look. So we'll see how this goes. She does have a scent. It smells candy. I don't know what kind of candy, but it smells like a candy. All right, let's try this. Okay, and here is the shade Lavender Honey on the lips. It's interesting. She's almost kind of sheer. And she takes a couple coats to kind of build up that shade. And I'm assuming that has to do with the soft focus look of it. But I'm not hating the shade. I don't know if it really goes with the green look we've got going on today. Maybe the other one would have been a better choice, but this is it. So I'm just going to quickly finish up the look, and I will be back to tell you my thoughts on our new products. Okay, my honeys, here we are with our finished look. There's a lot to talk about here on this face. Holy moly. We've tried out a lot of new products. Some of them are going to take a bit of time. I'm going to have to play with them and try them a little bit. But for first impressions, I'm not mad at anything. The only thing I will admit to be a little disappointed is, and it's completely my fault, the shade isn't quite right. That's me, not the makeup itself. I am noticing, as I film though, it's really setting in my fine lines here. So I might need to try a bit of a different primer with it to see if that helps. But yeah, it's really setting in there. But yes, I'm going to have to do a wear test with it. And I will have to get back to you on this and let you know my exact feelings on it. But as of now, I'm kind of a 50-50. I always find I get it right along my smile line in here. And I find it quite noticeable. So that I'm not impressed with. So, but we'll have to get back to that. The mascara, again, looks really good. It made my lashes look kind of nice and bold. Quite pleased with that. Our Makeup Forever Color Pencil. So far, it's coming out a little bit. I'm not giving up though. Well, hopefully we'll try it again. We'll see how it goes. It did go on pretty pigmented, so I was pretty happy about that. But I do notice it coming out a bit here and a little bit there. So we will see. But yeah, one of these days I'll find a really good black eyeliner. The lips, now that they've dried down, you can kind of see how they're kind of plush looking, more so than a normal matte. They do feel a bit stickier. than the other ones. So that's something to keep in mind if you're into like trying the plushy lipstick. I will have to get back to you on just the Velveteen, their regular liquid matte lipstick. The Sunkissed palette, it was free. What can you say about a free palette? Thank you very much, LimeCrime. The blush is beautiful. It's very, very pigmented. The shade Sundays, this one up here that we use for highlight, quite beautiful. I could see myself using that again. The bronzer, the contour kind of colors, I'm probably not going to use. Maybe I'll use it as an eyeshadow. And the same with like the pink and the yellow here. Again, I probably won't use that as like a highlight or like a blush or whatever, but it would look great on the eyes. So it's something to keep in mind, right? And then my baby here, Venus XLII. Oh, I'm so happy I finally got her, and I'm loving this green look. I think it's beautiful, especially with the black wing. She's stunning. The colors are beautiful. I can't wait to play with some of these more pinky tones and see what other looks we can come up with. And you know where you're to find me using these palettes more than once? That's right, my lives. I always try to use these type of palettes over and over again in my lives. So that way you get to see different looks with the same palette. I hope you enjoyed today's look and trying out some new cosmetics with me. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe think about subscribing and joining me in my little spooky corner here. You know where to find me. I am on Facebook and Instagram under Lady Mylita. And on Sundays at 5:30 Eastern, I go live and I do my makeup with you guys. We try out palettes for a second time. And we just chit chat, and it's always a great time. I really enjoy spending time with you guys and getting to know you. So if you haven't been there, please consider coming. I'd really love to see you. Stay safe, my honeys. I know it's been a bit of a crazy world right now with COVID and what have you. So be safe, be kind to one another. We're all going through something that maybe you just don't know. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye, my darklings.